Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Wildcat Football, the Wildcat Sports YouTube page. I'm David Warrington, and I'm coming to you live from Lone Tree High School for tonight's season opener of the 2021 Wildcat football season. Tonight's varsity football matchup will be between the host Lone Tree Lions and your Central City Wildcats. Before we get started here, I'll give a shout out to Next Bank. Each person and family has unique financial needs. That's why we offer a variety of personal banking and lending products. We offer everything you need for your personal financial success, from checking and savings accounts to loans and online services. Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. And taking a look at the teams tonight, first for the Wildcats. As I mentioned, this is the opening game for the Wildcats this season. A year ago, they finished with a record of 2-6, losing their first 6 games of the year before recovering to win their final 2. The Wildcats lost several starters to graduation last year. Specifically, they lost starting quarterback Ethan Ty, who was also the second leading rusher on the team. Between passing and rushing touchdowns, Ty found the end zone 10 times last season. They also lost Marshall Vandevet, the Wildcats' leading receiver, as well as their PAT and field goal kicker. After 3 seasons of being able to count on a made PAT after a score, the Wildcats may have to go back to attempting 2-point conversions this season. They also lost Cole Silver, the team's leading tackler, both his junior and senior seasons. He finished with 47 a year ago. The biggest player back for the Wildcats this year is sophomore Aiden Klosterman, who had a fantastic freshman campaign a year ago. Aiden was the leading rusher, rushing for 332 yards and 5 touchdowns. Klosterman was also the second leading tackler on the team, finishing with 46.5. Another big returner for the Wildcats is Marcus Prusman. A senior this year, Prusman was the 4th leading rusher last year, as well as the 3rd leading tackler, finishing the season with 33. Prusman will look to make a bigger impact on both sides of the ball this year for the Wildcats. And now taking a look at Lone Tree. This is actually not the opening game for them, although it is the first for the Wildcats. The Lions took on Midland in a Week 0 game a week ago, a game they won 22-8. Therefore, they enter this game with a record of 1-0 on the season. The starting quarterback for the Lions a week ago was Cade Shield. He went 7 of 15 for 25 yards in the win against Midland. Shield was also the leading rusher for the Lions, and they like to go with some designed quarterback runs. He carried the ball 24 times for 104 yards. Tyler Bell was also critical in the ground game for the Lions, rushing the ball 12 times for 72 yards and their only 2 offensive touchdowns. The leading tackler in the opening game for the Lions was Matthew Hempstead, finishing with 8.5. These two teams have met twice since Lone Tree joined 8-man in 2016. In 2016, we played here in Lone Tree in a game the Lions won 63-22. They also played in Central City in 2017, and the Lions also won that one in a much closer game, 26-18. None of the current players have ever faced Lone Tree in a varsity game, but the upperclassmen do have some experience against them, as these two teams had a preseason scrimmage in 2019. So we've got about 11.5 minutes to go until kickoff, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'm David Warrington, coming to you from Lone Tree High School for the Wildcats season opener this season.
Now coming onto the track is the Lone Tree High School Marching Band under the direction of Mrs. Callie Lund.
Currently have the Lone Tree Marching Band coming out in front of the press box, presumably to play the school fight song, as the Wildcats currently standing in the back of the end zone, prepared for the national anthem. Lone Tree players have not made the field yet. It looks like Lone Tree will be taking the field right now, running through their line of cheerleaders onto the field. As Lone Tree takes the field as we get set to go. So the Lions wearing their yellow home uniforms with black numerals and trim, as well as black pants. Wildcats wearing their white home uniforms, brand new uniforms this season, with black numerals, black and red trim, as well as black pants with white trim. Getting about 10 minutes to go now, and I'm assuming we'll be doing the national anthem here shortly, so we'll have to take a break from that for that, of course.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are able, please rise and remove your hats. Now making their way onto the
And at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be doing the national anthem here in Lone Tree. So I'll take a quick break for that. Be right back with you here shortly.
Dick Woolrab and Chris Cavalier. They are representing Legion Post 457.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the anthem has been played, and we're about 6.5 minutes away from kickoff now, as both teams get set to take their sidelines as we get closer to kickoff here for the opening game of the Wildcats 2021 season. It's a beautiful night here in Lone Tree, currently 88 degrees, with just a little bit of wind to speak of, about 9-mile-per-hour wind from the south. Feels like 99 when you add in humidity. So a very hot night here, but definitely could be a whole lot worse.
I'd like to thank everyone for their continued support throughout the year. Special thanks to those who help with uniforms and other logistics since the start of the school year. The Lone Tree High School Marching Band is
The Wildcats underneath their goalpost taking a knee, surrounding Coach Myers, getting some last-minute advice before they take their sideline.
Let's meet our starting lineup for the Lone Tree Lions. First of all, our junior captain is Bodie Burridge.
As we're down to 5.5 minutes to go now.
Senior, number 2, Kate Patterson.
Let's take a quick second here to take a look at some other games around the district for the Wildcats. 8-man District 5. While the Wildcats are here in Lone Tree, some other games around the district. Waco is at Springville. The Orioles hosting Waco in their opening contest. Central Ocator is at Clarksville for their first game of the year. Easton Valley is hosting Don Bosco in what should be a classic of a game. Don Bosco were state quarterfinalists or state semifinalists last year. The Riverhawks made it to the quarterfinals, just one game shy of the Dome. Key is hosting West Central for their first game. Midland in their second game of the year, they lost to Lone Tree last week, are hosting English Valleys. Kalamazoo Wheatland, their first year with a football program, are traveling to New London for their second game of the year. A week ago, Cal Wheat lost the game 50-0 in their first game ever as with a football program after previously having a sharing agreement with a nearby school. And lastly, Edgewood Colesburg will be traveling to Turkey Valley in their first game as an 8-man team. As previously the Vikings were in the 11-man division, but were moved down to 8-man for this season. Down to about 4 minutes now. As looks like the 3 captains lining up for the Lone Tree Lions are going to be Cade Patterson, a senior wide receiver, alongside Cade Shield, their senior quarterback, and Tyler Bell, their senior tight end, who also runs it on the ground quite a bit. He scored their 2 rushing touchdowns last week. 4 captains for the Wildcats, all seniors. They're going to be Jack Kramer, Tristan Dedeker, Wade Yoder, and Troy Curtis as the 2 teams head to midfield. So the coin toss taking place now. It's about 3 minutes to go until the game gets underway.